What is going on? What is going on, man? Man, we are the sharpshooters here. We talking wrestling, and we got to get into that big, the huge matchup with Cody and Drew, and obviously what happened. We'll go from there a little bit, but definitely, man, if you love wrestling, you're gonna get your latest wrestling content here every Tuesday. You will get at least a video or at least a live or something like that, and it will be the Sharpshooters podcast with me, Randy, and my boy David from Top Bunk Sports. Man, how you doing, bro?
Good, man. I'm good. There's a lot of things to get off my chest
Yeah,
with the decision making that Triple H and the WWE and TKO have been making. So I can't wait.
awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, man. So we'll get straight to it, honestly. So Cody Rhodes, right? Cody Rhodes. We didn't know where this matchup was gonna go. We didn't know how this was gonna end, but we did see that it wasn't a fatal four way. Jacob Fatu did get involved, which I said last week he was going to get involved. He got involved, but he got involved for the benefit of Cody Rhodes, and Drew McIntyre lost the title. And look, the fans, it seemed like the fans there, they really liked Cody. They had his back. I know a lot of wrestling fans around the world don't like what they're doing. They feel like, Cody Rhodes is being shoved down their throat. I understand that. I will say, from my opinion, from what I feel about this,
Mhm.
I think they made the right decision. I think they made the right decision. As much as I really like Drew, I like Drew McIntyre. I think he's an awesome talent. I think he's worked his butt off. I think he deserves to be in that spotlight. He deserves to be the champion, right?
Right.
But when it comes to WrestleMania season, when it comes to making a story, when it comes to making the biggest story that they could possibly make, is Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton the best story that you could possibly have for the championship right now? I don't think so. I think Cody Rhodes and Randy is the best story that you can get because there is so much history there.
Right.
That's what I feel. So I'm happy with this move. I'm happy that Cody Rhodes got the title back. And I figured he was going to get the title back. There's no way the QB1 is not going to be a part of WrestleMania. That is the golden boy. That is the man. You see it in the storyline. You see Sami Zayn calling Cody Rhodes the golden boy. I
Right.
mean, he's the golden boy. So Cody, Randy, I think there's so much history there, and I love it. I think it's going to be very interesting. I don't know what Drew's going to do, but let me know how you feel about this, my guy.
Okay. So I disagree on this being the best decision that they could possibly do in terms of the main event of WrestleMania for that title. And here's why. You put a scenario where every elimination in that elimination chamber match had a meaning as to why every guy that lost that match deserves to have a rematch. Now, of course, am I going to sit here and say Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship doesn't mean shit? It does, because there's a lot of history between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Like, Randy Orton bred Cody Rhodes into who he is now, and to a certain degree. Right? I don't want to fully say that it was the entire way, because Cody kind of had to leave the company to become who he was now.
Mm,
Um, but again, Cody would have not made that development if it wasn't for Cody Rhodes, for Randy Orton's help.
mhm.
There's so much history behind that. So, of course, I'm happy that they're finally giving us that big WrestleMania match between them that we've been asking for.
Yeah.
However, it doesn't hurt for them to go in a route where every single guy that got eliminated in that elimination chamber match could play a role into getting into the main event of WrestleMania, where you can put a fatal four-way match and have a bigger match than what we have now. Now, yes, certain people are gonna look at it from a standpoint of, oh, if you fuck Randy Orton over and you put this in a fatal four-way, doesn't matter. Randy Orton's going to WrestleMania. Those other guys aren't.
Yeah.
You could have had them fight to where they could have them in a segment, have them in certain matches where they could fight to get into the main event and build their way into it, because you're going based off how each guy was eliminated. Each guy technically was robbed of a shot there.
Yeah.
So they had a legitimate reason to build a story off of that, which is what I thought they were going to do. I specifically remember as soon as Randy Orton got the 1, 2, 3 to win that match, the first thing that I said in that wrestling group that I am, and shout out to everybody in that group that I sent the live to,
Yeah.
I specifically said, as soon as that 3 count happened, fatal four way at WrestleMania.
And I
Why?
agree. I
Because
agree.
everything was drawn out.
Yeah.
So while I do understand your point that this was the best shot that they could have gone with,
Yeah.
where they had to put the title on Cody and get rid of Drew, they could have done it even better, to where they could have kept the title on Drew, had Drew walking into WrestleMania, and all bets are off. Anybody that walks out of that main event champion is a winner in anybody's book.
I
But the
I I get that, but it's ah, like I understand your point. I understand what you're saying about the fatal four way, and I felt they were gonna go that route, but they didn't go that route. But Cody and Randy, I
Mhm.
think it just like there's time to really show that history, create a story that's gonna be better than that fatal four way. But I don't know where they're gonna go from here. I don't know how they're gonna go out with the story. I don't know if Cody Rhodes is gonna turn heel and is gonna be a babyface Randy Orton. I don't know if Randy Orton is gonna turn heel and is gonna be against a babyface Cody Rhodes. Now, I feel that Cody Rhodes. I've heard the talk. I've heard that he's stale. That he's getting shoved down the throats or whatever. That he's pause all that. But I've heard all that, but Cody Rhodes and Randy, to me, that's the match. That's the match. And I hate that Drew McIntyre. It's like he is affected by this. He's the one that got affected by this because Drew has done a great job, an absolute great job. But Drew versus Randy wasn't going to be as interesting. How realistically, how would they have got to that fatal four way? I think if Fatu would have got involved, then maybe Nick Aldis could have got mad and been like, you know what? I'm tired of this crap. Let's do a fatal four way because Drew, you're screwing everything up. Maybe
exactly.
they could have done that, but they didn't go that
That
route. And
that was the best route they could have gone in terms of having everybody involved and giving that spot to every single person. Instead, what you did was, let's forget Randy won it. Respect to Randy. Let's
yeah,
forget about everybody else who has a legitimate shot to get a rematch, and let's just pinpoint it at the guy that we think should go over. And in my opinion, while people are kind of, and I'm not going to say all the way that they are, kind of excited that Randy Orton is back in the main event. So am I. You're also basically just saying, hey, let's forget about these other guys. Unless what you're telling me is, hey, we're going to do what we did with Cena, where Randy Orton goes over and every single guy that was in that elimination chamber, every pay per view is going to face him one on one, and that's what's gonna start his run. If that's what you're telling me, cool.
mm,
But there's something in that notion that is telling me that's not gonna happen. Why? Because I have a feeling that they're gonna run this Cody and Randy thing up until a couple pay-per-views. I can't put my hand on what it could be,
so
but
you think it's going to be an ongoing story?
I
You think
I
it's going
don't
to be
think I don't think if you're WWE, as big as this main event is, that you can just put it as a main event for WrestleMania and say we can't have this going on.
mm,
See, the thing with Cena is a different story. Why? Because Cena was on a farewell tour. So
yes.
you're trying to fit as many guys as he wants to wrestle or that you want him to wrestle before he hits December. So I understand them not going on with a feud for a couple months, because those couple months you want to fit as many wrestlers as you can that he can face before he's done. Randy's not going anywhere.
Right? No, he's
Randy's
not. He's not.
Randy has as much time as he needs to build a feud. And I think with the history that him and Cody have, with the segments that they've had here where you could kind of see Randy getting at Cody a little bit, and people are like, oh, wait a minute, here we go. It's like, all right, all bets are off now. Now they're here. Now they're gonna face each other. Now the build up to the promos and all that. It's gonna get to a point where maybe Backlash they go in for the rematch, and then they'll maybe have a triple threat if they want to involve a Fatu. Like, you know what I'm
But
saying?
SmackDown, Sami Zayn basically called out Cody Rhodes and said, "You lost the Elimination Chamber. You don't deserve that shot."
He doesn't.
And like, how is Sami Zayn gonna be in this at all? Do you think Sami Zayn is gonna be involved in any of this? Do you think
find a way? They'll find a way because that's TKO. That's Triple H. Well, they'll find a way. They have put Sami Zayn in a position where he always has to be the underdog. And I don't know about you, my guy, but I'm getting sick and tired of this Sami Zayn stuff. Enough's enough. Like, they need to start sitting down with him, and they need to start figuring out a different direction that they could go with his character, because it's like nobody's believing this. It's the same thing with Jey Uso. Nobody is believing in your story. Nobody's yeeting anymore as much as they did when he first was hot.
Yeah,
it's not there. It's not. And you want to know something too? And you and me have disagreed on this. I believe that Cody's starting to get there.
He's starting to get where?
Stale. I think Cody needs to be a heel. I know you and me disagree.
No. Wait. I'm not gonna say I disagree completely, because I actually want him to turn heel. I want him to turn heel.
That's not
but
what
I don't think that he's stale. I don't think that. I just think that, like, he hasn't had the right opponents. And like, I remember when he turned champion after WrestleMania 40, like, who was he facing? Solo Sikoa, AJ Styles?
Guys,
like, it was,
you know what, like, though? Guys that they were saying, everybody in the airways were saying that they had deserved the opportunity. See, I can't go by that logic. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but I can't go by the logic when he was going up against an AJ Styles, when he was going up against a Brock Lesnar after he won the title for the first time. Remember that Raw after Mania where Brock Lesnar they tagged up and Lesnar F5'd him?
Yes.
Everybody that in that very beginning, everybody was saying him and Brock are gonna cook. Him and AJ are gonna cook. Oh, Solo's getting an opportunity and Solo's not even up there yet. Yeah. He's gonna cook. This is great for Solo. So at the end of the day, everybody was making it seem like it was such a great opportunity. So my thing is, like, listen, you ran 2 years, maybe 3, with him being a face. At some point, when are you going to drop the dime on saying, you know what, we did it with Cena, it didn't work. Why don't we do it with the one guy that's not going to retire anytime soon? Why don't we do it with the one guy that when he was a heel, he did it in TNA and everybody liked it. He was over in TNA as a heel. When he went to New Japan, he was over as a heel. He's been over as a heel in WWE. Now, obviously, he's never been a heel where he's at now.
Yes.
But you remember him as a heel in WWE?
Yes.
People liked it. They liked the dashing Cody Rhodes. Why? Because his promos were better. He was by himself. He was the Intercontinental Champion. He was over to a certain extent in terms of a heel. Like, people kind of understood, like, yo, they're getting a little edgier with him before they ended up turning him into fucking Stardust. And it was a wash because Vince McMahon just wanted to, pom-poms for the kiddies. Like everything. He naturally knows how to adjust and how to make his characters work. Even with Stardust, even though it was trash, you know what he did? Everybody was still cheering him to a certain extent because at the end of the day, it was funny. And he got a reaction out of that. So I think the heel, he can do the same thing.
And I think that we need someone to turn heel in this feud. We can't just have babyface against babyface. Like, that is not appealing to me. That is not appealing. As a wrestling fan, You need to have characters. You already have Cody Rhodes, you have Randy Orton, you have the perfect story. Right now, Cody Rhodes, let's say Cody Rhodes comes out next week and Randy Orton, and they're talking. Let's say Randy Orton, let's say he turns around or something and Cody hits him in the back. Like Cody, we need something like that because Cody does need something fresh. I agree that he needs something fresh. I understand what you're saying. And I'm very, I would love to see it. Like, I want to see him come out with a black suit. You know what I'm saying? Be like, oh, I'm the American Nightmare, and I want to see that like, what's it called? Homelander Cody Rhodes. Like, I want to see that Cody Rhodes. So I feel what you're saying on that. Now with Randy Orton, right? What's like it? Is he gonna get that title? Is he not gonna get that title? You said it's gonna be an ongoing story, right? You said it's gonna, lead to the next pay-per-views. Well, man, I honestly don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do, and that's the interesting part about it. It's not like predictable because with Randy and Drew, right? Let's say it was Randy and Drew.
Mm-hmm.
Who really you thought was gonna win? Randy, right?
Not really.
No, you thought Randy, you thought Drew was gonna go over Randy?
How many conversations have we had where I have said they have done Drew McIntyre dirty?
I understand that.
They've had this is the opportunity where they can give him that moment to walk into WrestleMania and say, "Yo, I walked into Mania as champion." They gave me the opportunity to finally come in the main event of WrestleMania as champion. Remember, when he won the title the first time, nobody was there. Yeah. The second time he won the title, they automatically gave it to Damian Priest. This is an opportunity where even though he's not winning it at WrestleMania, he walks into WrestleMania and maybe walks out of that main event, whether it's him and Orton or a fatal four-way, which would have been much better. Because I agree with you, I don't think him and Orton would have been a magical main event. I don't think it would have been great. But if you would have had it in a main event where everybody was interested in every single plan with those guys, because they had a legit reason to go after Drew for the title, it could have put Drew's status up there if he would have walked out of that fatal four-way retaining the champion. I would have respected Triple H if he would have did that.
I'll give you that. I
would have respected Triple H if he did that move because nobody expected it.
I would 100% give you that. I feel definitely. I understand what you're saying with that.
There's people right now that I talk to in a wrestling group chat that are saying that they don't think Drew can hold the title for a long run. I think he can because he can wrestle and he can cut promos. I think he can. People like Drew, whether he's a face or a heel. You see the reaction he gets. People like Drew. However, you put that fatal four-way, I don't think people are looking at it. Matter of fact, I'll give you one even better. Let's say if they go with that fatal four-way, who's the one guy they think is going to win that fatal four-way?
Cody.
Or
Randy Orton.
Exactly. So if everybody's going in there with that notion of, oh, Cody's probably going to go over, what would he do? Or Randy's probably going to finally get his shot. And Triple H does the opposite and shocks everybody and has Drew retaining. Do you know how I would have respected Triple H for doing that? I would have been like, yo, Trips, I respect that because you did the opposite of what everybody was expecting and you went with your heel. You put your trust in your heel to say, yo, I'm willing to give you the opportunity to carry this championship as a heel and just run through it. Let's take that chance.
I completely get but what's going to sell tickets? Is it going to be Cody versus Randy or is it going to be that fatal four-way?
I understand that. I think that fatal four-way would have sold tickets as well.
Okay.
Here's where people are probably going to be like, well, they had to give it to Cody because of their ticket shit. That's where this company is fucked. I'm gonna be on, and shout out to my guy James from Ruthless Talk. That's where this company is fucked.
Yeah,
because while you're so worried about certain people not buying tickets. First of all, they're overpricing this shit like a motherfucker.
Oh,
That's number one. So you don't help yourself in that cause. But the second thing is, while you're so worried about your ticket sales dropping, you're losing people that are interested in your main event up until you put well, again, you knew Randy was going over,
yeah.
right? I certain people want you in order to for yourself to in order for you to save a good chunk of ratings, Randy has to go over. Orton has to go over because I promise you, bro, if Cody Rhodes comes out of that WrestleMania event with the title, people are going to lose their shit. I listen, there's a reason why, even though the Cena match didn't go the way it did, you heard them cheer when Cena went over.
Well, Cena, yeah, Cena's Cena, like,
Like,
and Randy's Randy.
right,
So
right. But again, if we're gonna talk about how much love Cody gets, I'm sure people looked at it from a standpoint of, yo, Cena's slower. He's not as quick. We need somebody that's gonna be that's gonna be there every week because Cena wasn't there every week.
you're right.
Remember,
You're
Cena
right.
wasn't there every week.
You're right.
So there's those factors where people probably were looking at it like, yo, no, we need Cody to go over because even though Cena's in the main event, he doesn't need the title. He doesn't really have to break the record,
Yeah.
but he did. And guess what? He got a good reaction out of it, right? But a lot of that was also because a lot of people were like, yo, we had enough. We gave Cody a year. Enough's enough.
Enough's enough. Okay.
So
Okay.
this is where I
I
think his fans are going to come back again.
I feel like
Because Cody
fans.
doesn't need the title. That's what he's gonna forever be your top guy. He does not need the title to stay up there. That's what I'm trying to say. And if you want to put him as a heel, cool, put him as a heel. But if you want to keep him as a face, you keep him there. Don't put the
Give me
title.
an example of what you would have done with, like, let's say Cody Rhodes is not in the main event. Where is he? Where is the top one, the QB1? Where is he?
He is
If
in the main
he's not in the main event, where is he going to be?
no, he isn't the main event. But I would have never did a Randy. I would have
You
never.
would have did the fatal four way.
Yes, that's what
Oh,
I'm saying. He's gonna be in the main event. I just would have did the fatal forward. Now it's again because they're the dummies out there that are gonna take this for whoever wants to clip this and be like, oh, he didn't want Randy versus Cody versus Randy. Of course I did, but I also knew what you did at an elimination chamber.
yes.
Pay attention to how every single guy got eliminated. It wasn't like they just got eliminated and because they got beat. No, they got robbed. Every single guy in that elimination chamber has a case to go in there and say, I deserve a rematch.
Yeah.
So think about it. Like, and then,
No, you're right.
and then what happens is, again, and then I understand the ratings aspect. I understand everybody saying, yo, they need to promote, they need to sell tickets. I get it. That's why you switch the title from Drew to Cody. I understand that. But at the end of the day, you did that upon yourself.
And then they say, oh, Cody doesn't like pass the title. He doesn't pass the baton.
He
Like he
does.
doesn't. Like
No,
he
he
just
does.
did. He
No,
just passed
he
it to
does.
Drew.
No,
He
no,
just
he does.
passed it to
The
Drew.
one thing I can never criticize Cody about is the fact that he doesn't put guys over. He puts guys over.
But
Let me ask you
it
another
wasn't.
question. Let me ask you another question. I don't mean to cut you off, but let me ask
No.
you
You're
another
good.
question. You think Cody in his prime felt good about putting over a 40-something-year-old John Cena, even though John Cena did it for a historic reason? No.
No.
Right. But he did it. Why? Because he understood what that meant.
He exactly. He understood what it meant. He understood.
So I gotta tip my cap. The same thing with Drew. Yo, this dude dropped the title to Drew on a regular SmackDown overseas in his steel cage. I respect that.
You know my problem with that win though? That win wasn't like defining. It wasn't like
for me. It was no. For me, it was
because like the way he won, Fatu got involved, and freaking
that.
Drew McIntyre got the cage. Like to me,
right? But here's why I'm not mad at that. Drew's a heel.
I get that.
That's never gonna happen to a face.
I get that.
You know what I'm saying? That's never that's never gonna happen to a face where somebody is gonna it used to happen. It doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah.
Drew's a heel, so Drew's gonna take any little help that he gets, and that's what happened. But
Mm.
again, you want to talk about the business and the backstage aspect of everything? Shout out to Cody, because Cody could have fought that. When they came up to Cody and they said, "Yo, this is how we're gonna do it. Are you cool with it?" Cody could have been like, "Nah, I don't want to drop the title to
Yeah.
Drew at
Yeah.
SmackDown." He could have easily said that. He has
Yes.
creative control in his contract.
Yes.
However, he did it because again, he understands the business aspect. He understands who Drew is. He understands the opportunity. So
And
anybody
where they were, like
overseas,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
It made sense. I understand that point. Like it made sense. It was a surprise. I get
Right.
it. But yeah, don't tell me Cody doesn't pass the baton. Like
Yeah, everybody that says
like,
that, I gotta get that notion out your head, man. I
like,
understand nobody really likes Cody now because I get it, but you gotta give that man his respect. You talk about a
Cody,
career in Cody, listen, Cody went from being a jobber to being a tag team wrestler to being an individual to a singles competitor, holding an intercontinental champion and running through it to
yes,
to
yes,
being a replica of his brother just so he could play the company lines, and then he quit. He left so that
yes,
way he can pursue the outsides of the industry, and went to TNA, went to Ring of Honor, went to New Japan, found himself, got better as a wrestler and a character, and became who he is because of that. He went the independent route to become the Cody that we're seeing now. So I can never ever throw shade on Cody Rhodes in terms of what he's done to get to where he's at. However, when you get to a point where fans are tired of certain fans, I don't want to say all of it, but certain fans are getting tired of the whoa. They want to see something new. They want to see something fresh. I understand that because they gave the baton to Cody. They let him run it for 2 years. Same thing with Roman. There were certain people that were like, yo, if Roman's not going to show up every day, why give him the fucking title? And what happened? Roman said, yo, I think it's time.
mm,
Dropped it to Cody. You
yes.
were there. You were there.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I was there. I was there. I was
Again,
there.
dropped
And
it to
and
Cody.
it was an amazing, amazing moment. I was emotional. I was so happy for him. And I've been a Cody fan
Dropped it to
since
Cody.
before, since he was in the legacy, since before
Right.
that. Like
Right.
and that's what I think they have that legacy history with Cody and Randy. They can go there. I think it's gonna be very, very interesting what
Which
happens with Cody and Randy. I hate that this is now put Drew in a spot where he like what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? I hate that has happened. I would have I get the fatal four way. I understand the fatal four way, and that's what I wanted. But I selfishly wanted Cody and Randy ever since Cody came back. So
100.
that's why I feel like Cody and Randy is going to
Like,
be
you're not wrong.
awesome.
Right.
But that's just me kind of being selfish a little bit. But
You're not wrong.
it,
Everybody has a right to. Everybody has a right to that. I did too.
yeah,
I just think if they would have had everybody else in the chamber lose a little cleaner,
yeah,
then you wouldn't have to talk about those guys getting a rematch. Then you would have been like, all right, they lost clean. We could focus on Randy and Cody. But the fact that those guys didn't lose a clean way, and now you're in a situation where it's like they kind of have a point if they want to go to Nick Aldis and say, yo, we have a right to deserve a rematch. You could have just put them in a fatal four-way. And again, if you you wanted to have Cody go over and then build Cody and Roman, hell, we could have had Cody and Randy. I kept saying Roman, Cody and Randy at SummerSlam. I would have been okay with that.
Yo, shout out to the Pope, bro. Randy, Drew. He's a Drew guy, bro. He's a Drew guy.
Pope is going through it right now, man. His boy lost the title, man. He's going
No,
through it.
and I get it. I get it. I really do get it. And it just it sucks. It sucks for Drew, but I
Yeah.
think he's going to be okay because I feel like Drew has now put himself in a position where he can be taken more seriously. Like he can really be the champion.
I hope so.
That's how it looks.
I
I truly hope he gets there.
hope so.
But Man, that was an awesome match with Drew. Like I
Oh,
said,
shout out to
Cody
my,
won the title.
let me get to the next topic. Shout out to my
That
guy James Porcelli from the Ruthless Talks podcast that I told you about. He's in
yeah.
here, and he said
Hey, shut up.
Drew losing the title 5 weeks till Mania makes no sense at all. Cody and Orton is Mania worthy, but there hasn't been any continuity. The match should have happened last year or 2 years ago. And then he said, plus it's a face versus face.
And that's what we talked about, because
We talked
we
about
feel that there needs to be a change in the dynamic. There has to be a Cody heel turn or a Randy heel turn. Something has to be different. It can't just be face against face. You did face to face again with Cody and Cena. You know what I'm saying? At SummerSlam, you did that. You already did the good guy against the good guy. Like, we need a different dynamic. So I truly, truly hope we get that, man. Shout out to you, James. Appreciate you. Man, it's so interesting, man. And then we got to talk about Rhea and Jade, because I feel like that was a segment that was very interesting, because you got Rhea, who obviously is the Royal Rumble winner. I mean, the Elimination Chamber winner, right? My fault. Elimination Chamber winner. Rhea against Jade Cargill now. Like, Jade Cargill comes out. She comes out. She looks like a beast. She looks awesome. I think her promo skills we'll see, is getting a little bit better. I need to see a little bit more from like a back and forth promo wise with Rhea. But I think what Jade said was like, I'm stronger than you, and yes, you work out, but I'm stronger than you. I'm not impressed by you though. That's the thing. She's not impressed by a Rhea. And I was like, okay, that was interesting. And then Rhea was like, you know what? You might not be impressed with me, but I got fight. I got fight. And when I hit you, you might not get up. You know what I'm saying? But when you hit me, I'm gonna get up. I thought that was interesting. I really do feel that they can go so many ways with this. They really could obviously put Rhea over and have her be the champion, or they could put Jade over and actually, make Jade the real deal. I think is going to be interesting. I feel that Rhea though, like, where do they go from here with the story? Like, where do you think the story's gonna go?
I mean, I think with these two, this is definitely going to be promo worthy. This is definitely going to be a build up where, Rhea's going to have a match. Jade's probably going to come out, cost her the match. Jade's probably going to have a match. It's vice versa. And then I think it all goes into their segments, their promo. That's how you're going to build that up. You're also forgetting that there's a group out there of people that wanted Charlotte to face Jade. Remember, this is
I was one of them.
I was one of them. I've been one of them. Since the moment Jade came to WWE and she stepped into Nick's office, that Charlotte was there, and they had that their very first face off. I said, "Yo, they have to have this match at WrestleMania."
And I agree. I feel like they had something there, right? They had something there that you can tell was like, oh, that's Jade against Charlotte. That's Jade, a newcomer in the WWE, going against Charlotte, one of the best. But now you got Rhea against Jade, and I think it's going to take some time to get there where they want to go with it. But that Charlotte and Jade, just the face off was like, oh wow, like
that was their moment.
That was interesting.
That was their moment. Yeah, that was their moment right there. They even now, like, I understand people kind of being like, we don't want to see Charlotte in the title picture again.
Yeah,
you don't have. I mean, listen, so what? That this is it's the same thing. It's the same thing with Cody and Randy.
Yeah,
it's like, even though, again, I wanted the fatal 4-way, but they didn't go with it. But again, you're putting Cody in that title picture so they can make this match that everybody's been asking for.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with Jade and Charlotte, even though, James can agree with me. Me and him really don't like Charlotte to a certain extent because they kept putting her over and over and over when they really didn't need to.
That's the thing, man.
But I understand the magnitude of that match between them two. Not saying that Rhea's not going to kill it with Jade, because I think that's all. I think it's going to be a good match anyways. But I just think
But I wanted to ask you this: can Jade hang with Rhea? Do you actually think Jade promo wise can hang with Rhea?
no,
That's the thing. That
no. I
I don't
don't
know.
think, and she's a good wrestler. I want to preface my comment by saying that she's a good wrestler. However, I don't think that she can hang with her.
And
I
th-
I don't think that she can hang with her.
and that's my concern. That is my concern with that because as much as I want, Jade to be taken seriously,
Mhm.
like you got Rhea Ripley who is basically like the golden, woman of the WWE. She's like the obviously Charlotte was the one, but
Yes.
Charlotte has kind of taken a back seat and she's kind of like obviously just been chilling and she had the title match with Tiffany Stratton, but Tiffany Stratton won. She put Tiffany over and they were happy to do that. That was good to see.
Yes.
But Charlotte has kind of taken a little step back. She's doing the tag team thing with Alexa Bliss, and that's cool. That's cool. But Rhea and Jade, like I'm trying to think like where they go from here. Obviously, Jade is a heel, Rhea's the face. It's I think it's going to be interesting to see their promo battles coming
Mhm,
up soon.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
because
think if Triple H, TKO, if they're gonna cook, they need to cook with that.
because you
They
noticed,
need
you
to cook.
noticed on SmackDown.
They're doing it with Stephanie and Liv. They're
Yes.
doing it with Stephanie and Liv. So I
Yes.
need the same to be reciprocated on SmackDown side.
Yeah. And I feel like with Rhea, you notice that Jade talked, she dropped the mic, then Rhea talked.
Mhm.
That is a way of protecting Jade because
Yes.
there is not a back and forth with the promo. So I see what they did there. I really did see what they did there. I thought it was an okay segment. We'll see what there. I think is going to take some time to create that real interest in those in this matchup. Like in the match is going to be, I think we'll see how Jade obviously does, but the thing is there's a lot on Jade. Jade is kind of like she's not the best wrestler and she struggles at times, but she is a strong character,
Right.
and we'll see from there. It's gonna be, but I wanted to that was a cool SmackDown. We'll go from there, but this is how we do things on this show because obviously this is Tuesday. We recap SmackDown, we recap Raw, and we recap the pay per view if there's a pay per view. So next, we're gonna talk about Raw. We got to talk about this circus act. I mean, I want to go just straight at you here. What the hell was that with Seth Rollins and the circus act with the I don't even know what it was. They had a whole bunch of masked men and they were like running around like in a circle and trying to hide Seth Rollins. And
James,
I
I know James.
what was
I know,
that?
I know James is still in here. James, type in the comments for me what you thought give me your opinion on that. Exactly how James feels is exactly how I feel. This got to be the most stupidest way to start Raw. Like I can just imagine Seth Rollins just sitting there like, wait, what are you? How are we doing this?
Wait. You want me to like run around and like hide? Like,
What? No, why? For what?
bro.
Like, no, that's it. Everybody knows who I am. Like, no, let's pick this shit up and let's get more raw. Let's get edgy with this.
And apparently
But
he used his like students for it. So that I thought that's cool for them, and
for
and
them,
and that's awesome for them. But it's like, okay, this Seth and Logan Paul thing, which is I think where we're heading. How you feeling about it, bro? Because right now
I mean,
I'm not like feeling it.
they
I don't know.
it's not the best. It's a good look for Logan. It's not necessarily, in my opinion, a good look for Seth, and it's not his fault because of the injuries that happened. Mind you, I think they would have went the route of Seth versus Braun, but because Braun is out, they gotta go the next man.
I hate that Braun is out, bro, because he could have made magic with Seth. There could have been some magic there. Like Braun on the mic. Oh my god, he was so good against CM Punk, and man.
I feel like Austin Theory needs that opportunity though.
Austin Theory, bro. Austin Theory is a guy that has nothing. He has no charisma. He's nothing on the mic, bro.
You're in a lose-lose situation, anyways. There's
nothing on the mic. He doesn't have nothing.
I get that, but this is where me trying to think from Triple H's perspective, which is very hard right now because he's making some dumb decisions, but you have tried everything in your power to make Austin Theory look as good as he can. And it's not working. Right? See what you can do with him as a one-on-one guy. Get him out the vision. Get him away from the vision. See what he's going to do as a singles competitor and have it make it look like this is the guy that you invested in. Because you got to think about it. Out of Breaker, after Breaker went down, and after Bronson Reed went down, who looked more of a guy that was in the front? Logan or Austin?
I mean, if you want to say, but look, I think this guy needs a new character, bro. I honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you.
He does.
He needs a whole rebrand, bro.
He needs a whole new rebrand, right? But you know what? It doesn't make any sense to me how you've been putting this guy more in the front of the vision, and Logan Paul is just sitting in the back. And then all of a sudden, we're just gonna put Logan Paul versus Seth because because Austin Theory is not ready. No. You did that. You dumb fuck. You did that. So now you're gonna have to put this kid in that position. See, I'm not saying that a Logan Paul and Seth Rollins match is gonna be bad. Again, Logan Paul is athletic, so it could work. They're both athletic. They're both fast. They're both quick. It can work. But at the same time, the story needs to make sense. What I'm saying is, I know people are like, all right, so Top, what the hell are you talking about? Seth Rollins is back to go after Heyman and what Heyman got. He sent a message to everybody else that's in that vision right now by hitting Paul Heyman with the chair. The one guy that you have been promoting while Seth has been gone, while Breaker's been gone, while Braun's been gone, is Austin Theory.
Yes.
And guess what? Logan Paul has been walking behind him. When you had the chance to put Logan Paul as the next leader of this vision while the other three were gone, you didn't do it. You didn't do it. Randy, tell me if I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So what you did now was you said, all right, we're going to put a guy who we revamped and it's not working, but we're still going to put him in the front anyways of this group standing next to Heyman. So it only makes sense that Seth goes after the head of that group. Now, maybe Seth against Logan is probably a switch to where people are like, okay.
I mean, the match already happened. Like they did that already.
Right. But I'm saying at Mania.
I know, but I just
Mania. Maybe that's them saying, you know what, let's continue this because now we're starting to realize that Austin Theory is not it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't help your cause. You still fucked up. And think about it. What you're doing is, even though we don't like it, you're fucking him over.
And after Braun got injured, was Bronson gonna be the guy to face Seth?
I guarantee you it would have been. Because what other route were they gonna go?
I don't even know. Like, I don't even know if I would have even been.
That's why this whole vision shit after Braun went down, they should have scrapped it. It wasn't going to work. There was nobody in that group that looked like a firm leader besides Braun. Why? Because they build them up the right way. What the promos that Braun was spitting, the great promos that he was spitting, it helped him. It made him look like a leader. It made him look like somebody that was willing to, that was allowing everybody to grow next to him.
Yo, Braun is really missed on Raw.
Yes.
Really missed.
But again, that instead of you knowing that and knowing that Logan wasn't ready and knowing, first of all, Logan being in the vision was stupid.
Yes.
Stupid. There was no reason for Logan to be there, but you put him there anyways. Still wasn't worthy of being the main guy of that group.
Yes.
Austin Theory, trash. Not that, no charisma whatsoever. Bronson Reed was the closest thing, and still can't lace up Braun Breaker's shoes right now.
Yeah.
The moment Braun Breaker went down, that vision should have been scrapped to where now every single guy is going their individual way. And Seth Rollins, if he's gonna come back, you're gonna build him up in a different aspect.
I see what you're saying. I really do. I do.
Here's this. Scrap it. Austin Theory goes by himself. Heyman with Logan. And let Heyman build Logan to what Logan needs to be. Why? Because Logan is actually athletic. He can wrestle, and to a certain extent, he can cut it on the mic.
Yeah, he could cut it on the mic. Cut it on the mic.
So why
he's
not?
He's a good heel. He's a good heel.
So why not put a good heel with one of the best heel managers in the fucking business?
Yeah. No, I see that.
And have Seth Rollins make it about Heyman and say, "Oh, you're with him."
Is Seth Rollins cleared or not, man? Like I like
it seems like he is if he's back.
See, I don't know, man.
But you get my drift on how they dropped the ball with it, right?
Yes.
There was so many ways to go after Braun went, but it should have. But Braun Breaker getting hurt should have been the clear indication that they should have never kept that group.
Yeah.
So now you kept the group to the point where nobody's invested. Nobody.
Yeah.
You think I'm not interested in seeing Seth versus. I'm not.
That's what I told you. I'm not really interested in it.
The match might be good, but the buildup, I know it's gonna be trash.
It's already trash. The circus act. What the fuck?
No, right. I'm saying from here on. I'm saying from here on out. From here on out, I don't think that buildup is gonna be. I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong if you let these guys do the promo that we can. Right. Thank you. That's another reason.
That's what I'm saying. We already saw that.
That's another reason why they fucked it up. But again, Triple H, man.
Triple H, man. Triple H. But what game is McLean on? Is US Fox? What is it?
I believe it's on Fox. Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. But man, it's gonna be interesting, man. It's this whole this thing is this. I'm not interested as much in this. I'm really not. As much as I like Seth, I'm not interested in this much. I'm just not, man. But there was we'll see what they do next week with the Vision and Seth and whatever. But there was Penta celebration, and I thought it's Triple H has to go. I know he's not a Triple H guy. I know James not a Triple H.
No, he's not. I mean, again, I don't think he's doing.
James is the AEW guy. I
don't think he's doing a terrible job, but he said, but it's Road Dogg that was a. Yeah, bro. After I saw that, I was like, nah, that's.
I feel you. But look, so you had the Penta. And obviously, face Grande Americano when he beat him. It was a pretty good match. I like that finisher. Whatever that last finisher that Penta did was nasty. Like he went from the ropes and then he like did the Penta drive. It was fire. But the promo, like I just felt the fire and I felt the fire in the promo. And I'm like, yo, bro, this is Penta. This is the Penta that we need. And I want to see that. Like, I want to see that fire in like against somebody else. I want to see one-on-one a promo Penta give me that against somebody else. That's what I want to see, that back and forth with Penta. But I thought the match was cool. I thought the celebration was cool. I thought the promo was cool. I mean, what did you think about it?
I thought it was a beautiful promo. I thought it was well written. I thought it was well spoken by Penta. I think it was needed. This is a guy that caters to his fans, that caters to the fans in general. He's a great face. Everybody enjoys his work in the ring. Everybody enjoys his character. I mean, he's a legend. I mean, you saw what he's done in AEW. Coming in here, he's continuing his momentum. I think it was time to put a title on him. And I think if you're gonna give him the title, you gotta have him keep it for a while. Let him build his momentum with the fans until it dies, or until somebody else is on a hot momentum, and you find if you see if it's ready. But
Yeah.
I think you put it on a guy that is gonna deliver every week, and that is over with the fans to the max.
Yeah, and if you give him like maybe more mic time, maybe he'll be more over than he is now, because I'm sure that audience there, they really liked what Penta said, and he was like,
Got a
you know,
beautiful reaction out of that.
he was like, this is for all the dreamers, this is for all the people that this is for all the dreamers that believe in something, and that like he did it, man, and I love that. I absolutely love that, man. Penta is a champion. Cool. He has no story, which is I completely
I mean,
understand
I
your
gotta
point.
disagree with that though. He just became champion.
Like, yeah, but did he have a story before that? Didn't
No,
have much of a story
right.
before.
You put the title on him to then build a story for him.
But it's like he has these matches that is just like pointless with Penta. I
Well,
don't.
but this is where the company. That's where the company and the writers have to step their game up.
Just keep the title on Dom and Finn.
I understand why they put the title on Penta. It made sense. However, that has you gotta build that. You gotta build that. Or else if you don't build that, then of course you do what he's saying here. Keep the title on Dom versus Finn. Have Finn go over. Have Finn win the title.
Okay. See that's interesting, man. That's a and we definitely gonna get into that right next. We're gonna get right into that, because last week, right, we saw that Finn, was trying to Jake McDonough was getting the chair, and Finn was like, no, do it the right way. And that's the thing. So Dom was pissed off on Raw, and he really wanted to talk to Finn and be like, yo, you messed up here. Like you need to say sorry. You need to get me my rematch. Like you better be here to get me my rematch. And Finn said, I'm sorry. But he also said that maybe your dad was right. Maybe if you want to be the greatest Mysterio, you want to be the best Mysterio, right? Like if you want to be the best Mysterio, you got to do things the right way. And the way he's been doing things, obviously he's a heel, and Finn wants him to do things more, more accountable. He more the right way. And and he was like, yo, you know what? You just like, I forgot exactly what he said. Do you remember exactly what he said or no? What he said what Finn said to Dom.
I forgot that last part, but I think you got it correct on the one
Right.
you just said before. Yeah.
Like it was just like basically like your father was right.
Mm-hmm.
Like your father was right.
Yeah,
so
everything that your father told you when you were trying to rebel against him, he was right.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. That's interesting. I feel like obviously you saw Finn turn around, and he did the little jacket, the little callback to NXT. And when he turned against the Undisputed Era, or when he turned with the Undisputed Era, I forgot exactly what that was. I think he turned with the Undisputed Era. Yeah. Right? He turned with the Undisputed Era.
Nostalgia. Damn,
bro.
Oh my god, bro. When the Undisputed Era was at the top of their games.
Yo, bro. I remember. I was a big fan of
Undisputed Era was my shits, bro.
I was a big fan of Roderick Strong, man. I thought he was gonna do well in WWE. It didn't work out.
Adam Cole. Oh my god.
Oh man, Adam Cole, baby, Adam Cole, baby, man.
Oh man,
my goodness, man. But I feel like this story, right? They have something with this story, obviously. And wait. I also want to say, Yo, Liv Morgan. Did you see Liv Morgan? Oh my God. Liv Morgan was looking very good. That's all I will say. I will say Liv Morgan was looking really good, man. So shout out to Liv Morgan.
I wish I had her type of money.
Oh man,
I wish
that
I had her type
outfit
of
was
money.
very Liv Morgan. Like that was awesome. That was awesome. But look, Finn and Dom, I feel like they got something here. They got a story, obviously. But the biggest thing was when Finn was trying to beat up Dom, JD McDonough, his guy that he brought to the WWE. He brought in JD McDonough. He clotheslined him and turned on his guy that brought his mentor. I thought that was huge. And good for JD McDonough to get some kind of like, some spotlight there, because
Right.
I feel like JD McDonough, he's a good wrestler, but he hasn't had a lot of spotlight to that. So maybe this gives him a little bit of spotlight. Obviously, they beat the crap out of Finn.
Slap.
Where they hit him with the 619 with a hammer, and then they also had the chair hit the frog splash on him, and obviously the Liv Morgan and Raquel beat him up too. So, but look, I think we got something here with Finn and Dom. I think this is going to be a really good match between Dom and Finn, and I think we're leading towards WrestleMania that way. But man, I think like what James said. Does it feel like maybe Dom should be champion? Does it feel like what do you feel? Do you think that he should be champion? Because obviously you had to lose the title for this story to get more, more evolved.
Right.
So maybe like, yeah, he had to lose that title, right? For this to happen. And now Finn is out Judgment Day. Judgment Day beat the crap out of him. And now we get a Finn Balor that is without the Judgment Day. It's been 2 years, which Finn said, 2 years. I've been trying to help you. 2 years I've been trying to help you. Man, I mean, what do you think about all this?
I mean, like I said, I think I understood why they put the title on Penta. But I also think you were kind of building something right there with Dom and Finn, where Dom could have dropped the title to Finn and it would have been a good look anyways. You could have their match at WrestleMania for the title and it would have been a good, would have been good on the card. Now it's kind of like you're gonna have them fighting with no title, so it's kind of like kind of.
I mean, doesn't he still have the AAA title, right?
Does, but does Finn need that? No, you don't need that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's like you maybe could have waited until Penta. Penta could have waited. Penta didn't really need the title, even though like I understood why he did it because he's on a hot, but he don't need it. He didn't need it. You could have kept the title. I know. I'm watching a reaction.
No, I know it's so hard, bro, to McLean, but let's stay focused, bro.
Yeah, I know. I'm like looking down. I'm like, Jesus. The movement. Shout out to my Met fans, man. The movement on Nolan McLean. Second year, Nolan McLean is going to be so much fun to watch this year, bro. I cannot wait. Maybe
my God. But yo, I want to get into this segment because this is a segment. This is the last thing that we're going to talk about because I thought this was awesome. You had the Usos confront CM Punk about what he said about Roman's dad last week. And he said, like, Jimmy was like, you got to apologize. Jimmy's so good on the mic. Jimmy Uso is so good on the mic, man. Oh, my goodness. But Jey Uso, he came with that energy. He's like, you don't get it, bro. You got to say sorry. Like, you got to, he had that energy. And I was like, yo, damn, Jay. Like, okay, Jay. Like, okay, Jimmy. Like, and CM Punk was like, I got history with the Samoans. I got a bunch of history. He mentioned the Samoans. He mentioned, who he respects. And he said he didn't say I'm sorry. He didn't say I'm sorry for that. But he did say I'm sorry that Roman Reigns has treated you guys this way and he hasn't apologized for what he did to you guys. And I was like, yo, that is interesting. That is interesting because he didn't apologize. Roman Reigns never apologized. He actually never really went into the ring, had a promo, and said, you know what, guys? I'm sorry for the way I treated you. Like, I was completely wrong. No. When did Roman do that? Roman didn't do that. Roman is not going to do that. Roman still to this day is not going to do that.
Yep.
Like, and like, so this CM Punk thing and Roman, I think it has a lot of layers. We're getting into the family, we're getting into the storyline, we're getting into the bloodline. Man, what did you think of the promo?
I thought it was a good promo for the most part. To me, I'm on the different of I didn't really need I didn't really see the need to have Jay and Jimmy there.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, the reason why I say that is because it's almost you're kind of like Roman in a way, like I don't see like it's just weird. Roman is sticking to his face persona, while Jimmy and Jay kind of look like they're getting away little by little from their like Jay looks like he's getting little by little. It look like he's getting away from his. And it looks like they're going more the tag team route. Unless what they're trying to do is trying to bring back the bloodline to a certain extent with Jay and Jimmy kind of standing by his side. I don't know. I just felt like this build just needs to be Roman and Cody by himself.
Roman and CM Punk, yeah.
Yeah, Roman and CM Punk, excuse me.
By itself, but like
basically
but,
just
okay,
like,
but you got to think about it this way. Roman ain't always gonna be there, right? So if you got the Usos that obviously are there every week,
everything. Right.
you can put them in this storyline and somehow it will, do well with this storyline with Roman and evolve the storyline, then maybe it could be okay. But no, I see what you're showing. You want it to be about CM Punk
and it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I want to preface my comments by saying that promo was good. It was really good. I just thought, maybe they would have had one of those things where kind of guys like you see last week it was Roman and Cody. I mean, and CM Punk, they had their moment, and then this week it was like Cody kind of saying what he said. Next week Roman comes in and CM Punk doesn't come out. Roman kind of says what he says, you know what I'm saying? And they kind of go tit for tat on promos in a way, and they kind of build it that way. It may not be the best decision in terms of what people want, but these guys can cut it on the mic.
Yeah,
they are one of the best to do it on the mic. So I think their levels of promos are up there. But like I said, it's not that I was upset. I just felt like maybe you could have you didn't really need them. But I understand. But again, I'm not totally like that shit sucked.
Yeah.
It was really good. The passion, the way that they carried out that segment, the way that it kind of folded in. The only thing that I will critique in that per se, just in that segment, is I wish they would have did it a little bit where they would have had Jay and Jimmy kind of leave when they first were gonna leave, and didn't make it seem like they were gonna come back. So remember when they got interviewed in the beginning of the show?
Yes.
And then what's her name? My future wife.
Jackie.
Jackie. Yeah. When she asked him, "Oh, do you have anything to say about what CM Punk said about your family member?" and then he turned around and then they stayed. I wish they would have not commented, kept it moving, and then interrupted CM Punk to where it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like at least it gives a little bit of more.
No, I feel you. I feel you there. And you know what I found funny was like when CM Punk was like, you know what, I'm sorry, like the way you treated y'all, and you're y'all the young boys, and then Jay hit him, and then but Jimmy Uso really hit him, but CM Punk was like, I don't know if you heard him. He's like, I deserve that. I don't know if you heard that, like, but he said like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
deserve that. I thought that was funny.
yeah.
Um, I think this Roman and CM Punk thing is going to be very interesting to
Mhm.
see what happens next. Obviously, we got next week, man, because the next week is we got Roman actually in the building, CM Punk in the building. Are
Right,
they going to get physical? Do
right.
you think they're going to get physical, or do you think it's just going to be a promo? My guess is it's going to get physical.
I think it's gonna get physical. I think they've said enough. I think now it's like they'll have another promo, but it'll get
Now it's time for like the
yeah,
talking.
yeah,
Maybe Roman, comes out and he really responds like, "Oh, you really want to talk about my dad and all that," and then we go from there.
right.
And it's going to be very interesting to watch, man. But man, I think Friday Night SmackDown was cool. Monday Night Raw was cool, and yeah, I think hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of the Sharpshooters Wrestling with me and my guy. We got going to be here every Tuesday to talk some wrestling, and you will get definitely more videos, more things to come from this channel. So yeah, man, please do me a favor, do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the stream, leave a like on our videos. That really helps out the channel. You guys are awesome. Man, wrestling is just so awesome to talk about, man. But yeah, man, you got anything else to say, bro?
WrestleMania season, man.
WrestleMania
Can't
season.
we get in there. We're getting very close to it. So it's all the buildups and everything is fun to see. Obviously, here certain things, still gotta fix. But so far I'm if they build Cody and Randy the right way, the two main events are looking much better than what it did last year so far in terms of the buildups and all that. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's this is WrestleMania season, like you said, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. Sharpshooters out.